Hello everyone, this is my lecture number 14 on network theory, and today's topic is DC transit analysis, second order circuit. It is a for source free circuit or for natural response. In last two lectures I discussed about RL and RC circuit, that is the first order circuit with source and with for source free circuit also. What is the charging and discharging equations of RC circuit and RL circuit, and the most important point is that if the circuit consists of only RL and or R and C, those circuits are first order circuit. Now let us see what will happen if we have RLC circuit. Now suppose we have RLC circuit that can be connected in either in series with voltage source, or it can be connected in parallel with voltage or current source. Now the main point is that the presence of resistance, inductance and capacitance in the DC circuit introduces at least a second order differential equation. Okay, so that is the difference. If it is only RL or RC, it is first order differential equation. If it is RLC, then it is second order differential equation. That you will come to know after some time. It is apparent from figure that second order circuit have two storage element, that is L and C. Okay. Now a second order circuit is characterized by second order differential equation and consists of resistors plus equivalent of two ESC, that is element of storage element, energy storing elements. Analysis of second order circuit is like first order circuits. In that case, what we have to do, we have to consider circuits that are excited by the initial conditions of the storage elements. Now those circuit may contain dependent sources, they are free of independent sources. That means that is for source free circuit. In that we have to consider the energy stored in L and C, then we have to analyze the circuit. Okay. And in this lecture I will discuss about the source free circuit, that is the natural response, and in next lectures I will consider the circuits excited by independent sources. Okay. Now in this case the major problem is what we have to find out initial and final value. That means what, that we have to find out V0 I0, that is the voltage across capacitor, current across inductor, and we have also we have to find out dv0 dt, di0 dt. Okay, so in case of only first order circuit we have to find out only v0 i0, but here in the case of second order circuit we have to find out v0 i0, dv0 dt and di0 dt. Then you have to find out the final condition, that is I of infinity and V of infinity. Okay. So unless it is stated, V is always denote the capacitor voltage while I always denotes inductor current, and in that case you have to take care of the polarity. Okay. So capacitor plus minus, so current will flow from this plus to minus, that always you have to take care. Now secondly, one thing you have to always keep in your mind, that capacitor voltage and inductor current always continuous, so and it cannot change abruptly, or it cannot change instantaneously. So what we have to consider, we have to consider capacitor voltage is continuous. That means V0 plus should be equal to V0 minus. 0 plus means, sorry, 0 minus means just before the switching operation, 0 plus means just after the switching operation. Time gap between 0 plus and 0 minus is very small, and for inductor current I0 plus is equal to I0 minus. Now this point you have to take care always. Now let us see how to find out the initial conditions. Okay, say for that let us take this example circuit. Now in this circuit what we can observe that we have a switch. Now this switch at t equal to 0 going outwards, that means t less than 0 switch is closed, right? Now if switch is closed the circuit look like this, and if it is in steady state condition, that means for DC voltage inductor acts as short circuit, capacitor acts as open circuited. Then we can find out the current value I0 minus, which is nothing but simple applying Ohm's law, 12 volt divided by 6 ohm, so you get 2 ampere current. V0 is nothing but voltage drop across this 2 ohm resistor, so you can apply this current into 2 ohm 4 volt, or you can apply voltage divider rule, that is 12 into 2 divided by 6, so 6 cancel out 12 into 2, 2 into 2 4, so V is nothing, V0 minus is 4 volt, right? So capacitor and inductor current cannot change abruptly, so I0 plus equal to I0 minus equal to 2 amps, V0 plus equal to V0 minus equal to 4 volt. Now here what you have to consider, just after switching what happened at t equal to 0 plus. Okay, in previous RCRL circuit we don't have to consider that, we have to find out the I infinity value or V infinity value, but here we have to, after switching operation means it become, this switch becomes open, that means what, we have this circuit, this 2 ohm resistor is discarded because this is open circuited. So this is the circuit just after at t equal to 0 plus. Now from this you have to find out dv0 plus by dt and di0 plus by dt. These 2 points we have to find out. Now why we have to find out this, that you will understand later. Now let us see how to find out. Now in this is a series circuit, so whatever the current flowing, that is equal to your IC current. So IC 0 plus and IC 0 plus I0 plus equal to 2 ampere. So here we have find out the current value, which is the inductor current, but in this circuit now this circuit has don't have this effect of inductor capacitor as short circuit or open circuit. It is a t equal to 0 plus circuit. Okay, so here IC is equal to that I value, which is 2 amp. Now IC equals to what we know, C into dV/dt. So dV/dt, how you can find out, IC by C. So at t equal to 0 plus, what we can write, dV 0 plus by dt equal to IC 0 plus by C. Now I is 2 amp, C value is 0.1, so we get the value. Now here look at the unit is dV by dt, V is volt, T is second, so volt per second. Now similarly voltage across inductor, that will be what, V equal to L di dt, so di dt equal to VL by L. Now from this circuit we have to find out what is the value of VL, right? So now this is series circuit, so you can apply KVL here. Okay, so minus plus VL plus V0 plus. Okay, if you go according to the KVL in clockwise direction, it encounters minus first, then the plus, current is flowing this direction, so plus, again here plus, again here plus. So first term is minus, other 4 terms are plus. Here it is 4 into I. Now if you want to find out VL0 plus, that will be equal to what, nothing but 12, and this is 8, and V across capacitor, that is equal to nothing but 4 volt, so it will be 0. So VL 0 minus is nothing but 0 plus is nothing but 0 volt. So di 0 by dt equal to nothing but L VL 0 plus by L. VL 0 plus is 0, so it will be 0 ampere per second. Unit is ampere per second because it is di by dt. I is ampere, T is second. Now you have to find out the final value. So I infinity and V infinity. Now final value means what? This is your at t equal to 0 plus. At to get the final value, what you have to do is we have to assume this is in steady state condition. That means capacitor acts as open circuited and inductor acts as short circuit. Then at t equal to 0, t greater than 0, what happens? Or t goes to infinity, what will be the value? This I will be 0 because this is open circuited, and voltage across capacitor will be equal to nothing but 12 volt, because there is no drop across 4 ohm resistor. So similarly, another example, let us take now switch go upwards at t equal to 0. That means switch becomes off. Then t less than 0, switch is closed. If this is closed, then what is the value of current that is flowing, and what is the value of voltage across capacitor? So inductor acts as short circuit and capacitor acts as open circuit. So no current will pass through this 4 ohm resistor. So all current will flow through this path. That is, current is 12 by 6, 2 ampere. Okay. And what is the voltage across this capacitor? That is nothing but 12 volt, because these three in parallel connection. So again we can write I0 plus equal to I0 minus equal to 2 amp, V0 plus equal to V0 minus equal to 12 volt. Now at t equal to 0 plus, what happened? The switch is opened. Then what happened? This voltage source is not there. So we have this circuit. Now I am not making this open circuit and short circuit, because at t equal to 0 plus, we have to consider this circuit as a whole. Okay. So at t equal to 0 plus, what we can write? VL equal to L di dt. That means di dt equal to VL by L. Okay. Now if we apply the KVL across the loop, what we can write? That VL, and here two resistances, that is 10 I0 plus minus this V0 minus equal to 0. So the current value we know, that is equal to 2 ampere. So that 10 into 2, 20, and VL0 plus equal to nothing but minus 8 volt. Okay. So we got it minus 8 volt, right? So we can find out di0 by dt, that is VL0 is minus 8 and value of L is known, 2 Henry, so minus 4 ampere per second. Now IC is nothing but C dV dt or across through the capacitor. So dV dt equal to IC by C. So we can find out IC 0 plus. Now this IC, previously this current was flowing this direction, but after switching, current goes opposite direction, so it will be minus I0 plus, so it will be minus 2 amp. Okay. Previously the current is going this way, now current goes opposite way, so minus. So we will get the value of dV0 plus, and IC0 plus is known, C value is known, so we can find out the value of dV0 plus by dt. Okay, so we got this value. Now there is another example. I am not going through that now. Okay. Now let us come into the main point, that is source free series RLC circuit. That means it has no source. What is there? Initial charged, initial energy is stored in inductor and capacitor. Now this is the series circuit. So at t equal to 0, what we can write? That voltage drop across this capacitor, that will be equal to what? I equal to C dV dt. So V equal to 1 by C integration of I dt. Okay. And current flowing through the circuit is say I0. Then we can apply KVL to the circuit. What we can have, that is I into R, and voltage drop across inductor is L di dt, and this voltage is nothing but 1 by C integration of I dt equal to 0. Now equation 2, we can differentiate this equation 2. Okay. And what we will get? Say differentiation of and divided by say L. So if we differentiate this part first, what we will get here, that is L d2i dt square. Now if you divide by L, you will get d2i dt square. Now R di dt divided by L, that means R by L di dt, and here it will be what? Nothing but I. If you differentiate this term, it will be I by C divided by L, that means I by L, C equal to 0. So this is the equation that we got, and this equation we can see we have second order differential equation, because here d square I dt square is there. So this is a second order. So RLC circuit always gives us second order differential equation. Okay. Now to solve differential equation, we requires establishing of two initial conditions. Okay. That is why we require that dv0 dt and di0 dt term. Anyway, so to determine the first derivative of initial value, we require equation 1 and 2. So because equation 1 and 2 we require, that means what we can write here, that so the two initial conditions are, first one is initial value of I and then its first derivative. Okay. So now what we can write from this circuit again, that is Ri, that is from this equation, okay, this equation 2, this equation, Ri0 plus L di0 dt plus V0. Okay, here instead of this integration term, let us write V0 equal to 0. Then how to find out di0? Di0 dt is nothing but minus 1 by L Ri0 plus V0. This V0 is the initial value of the capacitor, I0 is the initial value of the inductor. Then we can find out di0 dt very easily. Okay. Now, based on our previous experience of first order circuit, we could suggest that the solution of the differential equation, second order differential equation, can be in form of exponential form. So we can assume I equal to a to the power a e to the power st. That is the exponential form. Now we can write this by putting I equal to a to the power a into e to the power st. If we put it here, okay, in this expression I equal to a to the power st, then what we will get, a square e to the power st, because we have to do double differentiation. Di RL di dt is nothing but r by L as e to the power st. When it is double differentiation, it we will get a square, s square. So a s square, and here a to the power st. This is I by LC. Okay. Now we can take common factor a to the power st, then s square plus r by L s plus 1 by LC, that is equal to 0. Right. Now I equal to a e to the power st, we have assumed the solution, so we cannot make that equal to 0. So what we can do, we can make this s square plus r by L s plus 1 by LC equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation, so it should have two roots. Now what are the roots? That is minus r by 12 plus minus root over of r by 12 whole square minus 1 by LC. Right. So plus and here minus. Okay. Now this expression we can write in the form of that minus alpha plus alpha square minus omega 0 square. So alpha will be equal to what? R by 12. Omega 0 will be 1 by root of LC. If you make whole square of that, we will get 1 by LC. Okay. So equation 8, that is this equation, we can write in form of s square plus 2 alpha s plus omega 0 square equal to 0. Now two values of s of the s1 and s2 indicate that there are two possible solutions for I, each of which of the form of assumed solution. Okay, that is I1 equal to, so what we have assumed, I equal to a to the power st. So it has two roots, s1 s2. So it must have two solutions, I1 equal to a1 e to the power s1t, I2 equal to a2 e to the power s2t. Okay. So the natural response of the RC circuit can be written as IT equal to A1 e to the power S1t plus A2 e to the power S2t. Right? Now A1 and A2 are determined from initial conditions. That means from I0 plus value and di0 plus by dt value. Okay. So we have to determine two constants. We require two initial values. That is why we require I0 plus and di0 plus by dt. So that is why we have seen two examples how to find out that. Now what happened here? Now here we have S1 equal to minus alpha plus root over alpha square minus omega 0 square. You can assume here plus minus. So here what we can have? We can have alpha value here. We can have alpha greater than omega 0, alpha equal to omega 0, alpha less than omega 0. Then what will happen? If alpha greater than omega 0, alpha greater than omega 0, then this value, total value, becomes real and unequal, right? Because here minus alpha plus that value, minus alpha minus that value. So real and unequal. So when alpha greater than omega 0, we have the overdamped case or overdamped response. Now what is overdamped? I will explain you. Okay. If alpha equal to 0, then what happens? This term will cancel out, only will have minus alpha, and that means roots are equal and real. Okay. When alpha less than omega 0, roots become complex. Okay. Because this is minus here, so it will have root over minus some term. Root over minus 1 equal to j, that we know, so that becomes a complex number. In other words, when alpha greater than omega 0, it is overdamped case. That time roots are equal and unequal and real. When roots of the characteristic equation, which is, this is the characteristic equation. Okay, s square plus r by l s plus 1 by lc. Characteristic equation are unequal and real. When alpha equal to omega 0, that is critically damped case. Roots are real, equal and real, and underdamped. When alpha less than omega 0, roots are complex. Now let me just show you this graph. First let us observe this blue line. In blue line you can see this is nothing but a oscillatory function, right? A sine wave. Okay, a oscillation. That means undamped. Undamped means what? It is oscillatory forever. Okay. Now red one, underdamped. Underdamped means it is not undamped but underdamped. That means it is oscillatory in nature, but it is reducing its amplitude continuously, and it will reach to 0 or the steady state value at certain time. And overdamped means what? It is not oscillatory at all. It is going steadily decreasing and goes to the final value. Okay. Now critical damp is what? Now difference you can look here. Underdamped means it is oscillatory and goes to a steady state value. Overdamped means it goes to steady state value for after a long time. Okay. Critically damped means it will go above the reference level, then it goes to down to the reference value. Okay. Now say when overdamped case alpha greater than omega 0, then the response already we have seen that we have two roots s1 s2, so a1 e to the power s1t plus a2 e to the power s2t. Okay, which decays approaches as t increases, which decays and approaches as t increases. Now when critically damped means when alpha equal to omega 0, that time s1 s2 roots are equal, that is minus alpha, which is minus r by 2l. That time the roots, the response, what we can write, a1 e to the power minus alpha t plus a2 e to the power minus alpha t. So both are same, so we can write a3 e to the power minus alpha t, where a3 is nothing but summation of a1 plus a2. Okay, you can take common factor of that, but this cannot be the solution because the two initial conditions cannot be satisfied with the single constant a3. Then what we have to do? So let us take the first the differential equation. Okay, that is d square I. This is the differential equation that we got. Now when alpha equal to omega 0 equal to r by 2l, what we can write, that r by 2l, here if you take 2 and multiply by 2, that will be 2 alpha di dt plus alpha square I. Now alpha equal to also 1 by equal to omega 0, where omega 0 equal to 1 by root of LC. So you can take alpha square. Okay. Now we can take some common factor. So di dt of di dt plus alpha I. So here we have 2 alpha I. So here we are getting 1 alpha I and one other alpha di we are getting from here. So it will have, we can have 2 alpha di dt, and here we are getting d2i dt square and alpha square I. So we can take f equal to this term di dt plus alpha I. So the equation is df by dt plus alpha f. Now this is the solution. This is first order differential equation. So from second order differential equation, we retrieve a first order differential equation. Now solution we can assume as a1 e to the power minus alpha t. Okay. So we can write di dt plus alpha I equal to a1 e to the power minus alpha t. Then we can take this e to the power minus alpha t to left hand side. That means e to the power alpha t di dt plus e to the power alpha t alpha I equal to a1. Now which can be written in this particular format. That means d dt of alpha e to the power alpha t I equal to a1. If you differentiate this, we will get this particular term. Okay. So now what we can get, integrating both sides, e to the power alpha ti equal to a1t plus a2, which is the integration constant. So I equal to what? Nothing but a1t plus a2 into e to the power minus alpha t. Here is plus. If you go to the right hand side, it will be minus e to the minus alpha t. So for critical damped case, the equation solution is I1 I equal to a1t plus a2 e to the power minus alpha t. Okay. Now for under damped case, that is the oscillatory case, then what happens, S1 is minus alpha root over of minus omega square minus alpha squared. So from that what we will get in terms of minus alpha plus j of omega d plus minus j omega d. So j equal to root over minus 1, omega d is nothing but root over of omega square minus alpha square. Okay. This is called, omega d is called damping frequency. Okay. So both omega 0 and omega d are natural frequencies as they help determine natural response, while omega 0 is often called undamped natural frequency and omega d is called damped natural frequency. Okay. So omega d is called damped or damping frequency. Omega 0 is called undamped natural frequency. Now we can put the equation, this S1 S2 value in this term, A1 e to the power S1t plus A2 e to the power S2t, and we have put that value of s1 s2. Okay, then we can take e to the power minus alpha t common factor, a1 e to the power j omega dt, right, plus a2 e to the minus j omega dt, what is left here. Then according to Euler identity, what we can write, that e to the power j theta equal to cos theta plus sin theta, e to the power minus j theta equal to cos theta minus j sin theta. So we can put that Euler identity here. Okay. After putting it that cos term, we can take common factor. So a1 plus a2 j, and sin term we can take common factor. So we will have a1 minus a2. Now this factor we can take as a common as b1 and b2. So what we will have, the response it is e to the power minus alpha t b1 cosine of omega dt plus b2 sine of omega dt. That means it is nothing but a oscillatory function, but there is a damping part which is e to the power minus alpha t. So it is a oscillating function, but it is going down. Its amplitude is going down and it will reach to 0 or reference value. So for this response, the time constant is 1 by alpha and period is nothing but 2 pi by omega t. Okay. So this is exponentially damped and oscillatory in nature for underdamped case. Okay. Now let us see one problem. Now in this circuit we have R, L and C values given. Calculate the characteristics root of the circuit if the natural response is the natural response overdamped, underdamped or critical damped. Very simple problem. So what we have to do is, this is series RLC circuit. First we have to see this series or parallel. For parallel the formula is different. That we will come to know later. For if it is series connection, then alpha equal to R by 12 R by 2L, omega 0 equal to 1 by root of LC. So we got, put the value of R and L and C, we get alpha and omega 0. Now you have to find out the condition, whether alpha is greater than omega 0, equal to or less than. Now here we can see that alpha greater than omega 0, that means it is overdamped response. So as alpha greater than omega 0, it is overdamped. Response is overdamped. So we can find out the roots S1 and S2. minus alpha plus minus root over alpha square minus omega square. So we got S1 S2 value. So we can say that this is overdamped case, and proof is that we have these two roots, real and negative. Okay. Now say second problem. Now this is a circuit. Assume that circuit has reached steady state at t equal to 0 minus. So this switch is open when at t equal to 0. Before that it will be closed, right? If it is closed, first point is you have to find out from the switching operation what is the circuit. Then assume steady state condition, make inductor open circuit, capacitor, sorry, inductor short circuit, capacitor open circuit. Okay. So switch was closed before t equal to 0, that means at t less than 0, which is closed. So inductor short circuit, capacitor open circuit. Then what is the inductor current that is flowing? I0 minus, that is nothing but 10 volt, 4 plus 6, that is 1 amp. And voltage across this will be what? Nothing but voltage across this part, that is 6 into current I, which is 6 into 1, 6 volt. So we got the initial values. Okay. Now we have to draw the circuit at t equal to 0 plus. Now t equal to 0, switch is open, so the circuit becomes this, and the current flowing is in this direction. Now this is a source free, resulting circuit is, after switching operation, is source free RLC circuit. Okay. Now what we can see here, that 6 and 3 ohm, these two in series connection, so I can take assume as 9 ohm resistor. Okay. So we have resistor, inductor and capacitor. Now from that we have to find out alpha and omega 0 value. Alpha is, this is a series RLC circuit. Okay. So we can find out alpha. Alpha is R by 2L. So we got 9. Omega 0 is 1 by root of LC. Got 10. Now here what happened? Alpha is less than omega 0. Right? Then what is the response? That response should be underdamped. So after first point is find out the initial condition, draw the circuit at t equal to 0 plus, and look at the circuit whether it is series or parallel circuit, if it is source free or step response. Now it is a source free circuit and series circuit. Find then alpha and omega 0, and then you can find the condition of the response. Response is underdamped. Now for underdamped, what is the formula of S1 and S2? That is minus alpha plus minus root over alpha square minus omega 0 square. Okay, so we got this S1 S2 value, that is complex number. So alpha is 9, omega d is 4.359. Okay. And a natural response is underdamped, so the equation is it equal to e to the power minus alpha t. Alpha already we got, fine, a1 cos omega dt plus a2 sin omega dt. Okay, so we got omega d value, alpha value from the roots of the equation. Now we have to find out a1 and a2. For that we require two equations, right? Two variable, two equations, but we have only one initial condition, I at 0 and v0. That is why we required di0 dt and dv0 dt. Okay, so we can put alpha value, omega d value. Now we have to find out the value of a1 a2. Okay, so now if we apply that t equal to 0, okay, in this equation, what we will get? We will get I0 equal to sine 0 is 0, cosine of 0 is 1, that is y1, a1 equal to nothing but 1. I0 value is, already we got initial condition, I0 is 1, right? So we got a1 value. Now we have to find out a2. For that what we have to do? We have to find out dit by dt. Okay. Now if we want to find dit by dt, how we can find out? From this series circuit we can find out. Okay. So just apply the KVL here, and side, if you do the side rearrange that, you will get, see here, L will go here, so L di dt, L di dt, V0 and Ri0, right? So now you can see L, if you take L here and both are minus minus term, that will be on the right hand side plus equal to 0. Okay, so we get this expression. So di dt t equal to 0. What is the value? Just put the value of L R I0 V0. We got minus 6 ampere per second. Okay, so we got the value of di by dt, di dt value. Okay, now what we can do is that we have to take the derivative of this particular equation it. Whatever the response, you have to take the derivative of that. If you take the derivative of that, you will get this expression. Okay, that means what, this expression we got from the circuit, and we got value of di dt at t equal to 0. Now we have to perform dit by dt of that particular response, under damped response, and there you have to put t equal to 0. So di0 dt value is minus 4 6, that you have to put, and you have to solve. So minus 6 is here, and now if you solve this one, sine term becomes 0. Okay, the cos term, that is a1 plus 0, and this term is coming after derivation, after derivative, and a2 cosine 0 is 1. So, and we know the value of a1, so we can put a1 value, so we got value of a2. Okay, and from this we got the value of di0 dt. Okay, if you got value of a1 a2, we can put in that equation a1 and a2. a1 is 1, a2 is 0.688. So this is the response. Now say source free parallel RLC circuit. Okay, and for parallel RLC circuit, what we can see here, that I0 is nothing but 1 by L integration of VDT, right? And V0, capacitor voltage is say V0. Now here voltage is same, right? So here what you have to do, you have at this particular node, you have to apply the KCL. If you apply KCL, what we can write, the voltage across capacitor is V same. Okay, this is your, this point which is V. The V by R is this current, V by R, plus inductor current is 1 by L integration of VT dt, plus capacitor current, that is C dV dt. Okay, now we can differentiate this expression. Okay, and divide by C. Now if you differentiate this expression, you will get here dv d2 v by dt square, divide by c, c cancel out. From here what you will get, 1 by lc, and differentiation of this integration term, it will get v, so d by lc. And from here what you will have, dv by dt 1 by rc. Okay, so this is the, from here what you can write, that this is, from here by putting v equal to the solution a to the power ht. Okay, just like the previous case, if you solve that, you will get s square plus 1 by rcs plus 1 by lc. That is the characteristic equation. Now here the roots are what, nothing but minus 1 by 2 rc plus minus root over 1 by 2 rc whole square minus 1 by lc. Okay, so from that you can find out alpha is minus 1, alpha is 1 by 2 rc. Okay, and omega 0 is 1 by root of LC. Now from series RLC series circuit and parallel circuit, for both case omega 0 is the same, 1 by root of LC. Alpha value only differs. For RLC series circuit, that is R by 2L, R by 2L, and for alpha, for parallel circuit, RLC parallel circuit, 2 R1 by 2RC. Now similarly, when alpha is greater than omega 0, what happens? That is the underdamped response, and V should be a1 e to the power s1t plus a2 e to the power s2t. Roots are real and unequal. For the critically damped case, same token we can solve it. That is a1 plus a2t into e to the power minus alpha t. That already I have solved for the previous case. And for underdamped case, what happened? It has complex root, minus alpha plus minus j omega d, omega d equal to root over omega square minus alpha square, and response is e to the minus alpha t, a1 cos omega dt plus a2 sin omega dt. Now how to find out here that dv0 dt value? Okay, for that what we can do is, in this circuit, for this parallel circuit, voltage are basically same, right? So what we can write here, the current voltage is say V0, so V0 by R plus I0 is the current through inductor, C dV dt is the current through capacitor equal to 0. So C dV0 dt, that we can write as minus V0 plus RI0 divided by RC. Okay, just addition of that, then take into right hand side, so negative, we have R and C comes, so RC. So this is the point. Let us take one example. This is a source free circuit RLC, which has stored energy V0 5 volt and I0 is 0. Now say R value, say 1.923, R equal to 5, R equal to 6.25. For three values of R, we have to find out what is the response. Now case 1 is R equal to 1.923. Then alpha is what? 1 by 2 RC, right? This is parallel. So if we solve it, we will get 26. Omega 0 is 1 by root of all LC. Solve it, the value is 10. Now here alpha is greater than omega 0, so this is overdamped case. So you have to find out S1 and S2, that is minus alpha plus minus root over alpha square minus omega square. We got two values, minus 2 minus 15. Then we have Vt is A1 e to the power minus 2t plus A2 e to the power minus 50t. We have put this S1 value here, S2 value here. Now we have to find out A1, A2. For that, first thing what you have to do, just put t equal to 0 here. So V0 equal to, that is A1 plus A2, right? E to the power 0 is 1, equal to what? V0 already we know, this is 5 volt. So that is the initial value of the capacitor. So we got one equation, A1 plus A2 equal to 5. But to solve it, we got another equation. For that, we have to find out dV0 dt. Now dV0 dt is V0 plus Ri0 by Rc. So if you put V0 value, I0 is 0 is given in the problem. I0 is 0. Okay. So and put the Rc value, we got dV0 dt value. Okay. Now we can differentiate this particular expression, overdamped expression, and there you have to put t equal to 0, that will be equal to this dv0 dt, then you will solve it. That means if we find dv dt of that particular expression after putting the value of s1 s2, we get this expression, that is minus 2a1 e to the minus 2t minus 50a2 e to the power minus 50t, right, after differentiation of that. Now in this case, if you put t equal to 0, this will become dv0 dt, which is nothing but this value, so minus 260, and we will get e to the power 0, again e to the power 0, so you will get minus 2a1 minus 50a2. So we got equation 1 here, a1 plus a2 equal to 5, and here equation another. So we can solve these two equations to get a1 and a2 value. After we got this a1 a2 value, we can put that value into this particular vt equation. So we get vt equal to a1 is minus 0.20 e to the power minus 2t, that is the h1 value, plus 5.208 e to the minus 50t, which is the 50 is the minus 50 is the second root value h2. Now when R equal to 5 ohm, what happened? Alpha 1 by 2 RC become 10, omega 0 is also 10. Now both alpha and omega 0 is same. So what we have? Critically damped response. Dt expression is A1 plus A2t into e to the power minus 10t. This is alpha t. So we have to put the value of alpha, which is equal to 10 here. Now we have to apply t equal to 0. So V0 will be equal to what? Now this will be 1, this will be 0, so A1 equal to V5. That we can directly find out A1 value. Now for A2 value, what we have to find out? We have to find out dV0 dt. Okay. Now again we have to find out this dV0 dt from the circuit, parallel circuit, and we have to find out what is the value. Then we have to differentiate this particular Vt equation after putting the value of roots. Okay, we have to differentiate. So dV dt is nothing but differentiation of this, right? This is a1 e to the power minus 10t, so minus e to the power 10a, right? And then we have a2, Then we have a2t e to the minus 10t. If you differentiate, we will get this expression. Here you have to put t equal to 0. So dv0 dt already you got, that you have to put here, and minus 10a, and t equal to 0 means this term becomes 0 and e to the power term becomes 1, so that is a2 here. So then you have to put a1 value, you get a2 value. After getting a1 and a2 value, we can put this in particular expression. We will get the final expression of critically damped response. Now case 3, so R equal to 6.25 ohm. Then again we have to find out alpha and omega 0. So 1 by 2 RC, we get the value, omega 0, we got the value. Here we can see alpha less than omega 0, that means it is under damped case. So we have to find out root. The value is a complex number, and alpha is 8, omega d is 6. So we can write the expression a1 cos of omega dt plus a2 sin omega dt into e to the power minus alpha t. So we got value of, we have put the value of alpha and omega d. Now we have to put t equal to 0 in this particular expression. Then what you will get, sin term becomes 0, e to the power term becomes 1, cos term is 1. So a1 equal to this value of voltage. So a1 equal to 5. Again you have to find out dv0 dt. Okay. Then the value you got. Then you have to find dv dt of that particular expression of this expression. Okay. Now solving this, you will get this one. Now put t equal to 0. So sine terms become 0, cosine terms you will have. So what you will get, minus 8a1 and here plus 6a2, which is equal to this minus 80. Okay. And you can put value of a1, so we get value of a2. Then we have to put value of a1 here, a2 here. Others already you know. Okay. So this is the example. Now let us take another example. Say this switch is closed at t equal to 0. Before that it was open, right? Right. If it was open, then what will happen? What is the voltage across capacitor? That will be the voltage division rule. 40 into 50 divided by total resistance 25 volt. I equal to what? Nothing but this is short circuited, right? So 40 divided by 80.5. Why this is minus? Because here I is flowing this way, but direction is given opposite, so minus. Okay. Now when switch is open, what will happen? This part will not be there. We will have RLC connected in parallel. So we can find out dv0 by dt, that is minus v0 plus ri0 by rc. That value comes as 0. Okay. Now we have to find out alpha and omega 0, so that we can find out what will be the response. So 1 by 2 RC, 1 by root of LC, we got this value. So we can see alpha is greater than omega 0. So this is under damped, over damped case. This is over damped case. Now if you solve for the roots S1, S2, that is minus alpha plus minus root over alpha square minus omega 0 square, we got this value. Okay. So solving, we got S1, S2 value. Now we can write the expression of overdamped response, A1 e to the power minus S1t plus A2 e to the power minus S2t, by putting these two values. Now we have to put t equal to 0 here. Then we get the equation as A1 plus A2 equal to 25, because the V0 is 25. Okay. Now we have to take derivative of this particular expression, where we have to put dv0 dt equal to 0, because this dv0 dt we got as 0 here. Okay. Now after doing the differentiation of this overdamped response, you will get this expression. Now put t equal to 0. So we will have, in with respect to a1 a2, we have one equation, value is 0 because we got dv0 dt as 0. If you get some positive or negative value here, that you have to put here, and you can solve. Okay. We have a1 plus a2 equal to 25, another equation. So you can solve, you get a1 a2 value, and put the a1 a2 value in this particular expression, you will get the response. So this is the way we have to solve source free, series or parallel circuit. So the main points are what? you have to see before switching condition. You have to find out the initial values, that is I0, the current through inductor, and capacitor voltage. Okay, by considering inductor is short circuited, capacitor is open circuited, then draw the I0 plus circuit, then find out the dV0 by dt or di0 by dt term. For our parallel circuit, voltage is constant, so we have to consider dV0 dt, and for series circuit current is same, so there you have to consider di0 by dt. Okay, then we have to find out the value of alpha and omega 0. For series, alpha is 1 by r by 2l, omega 0 is 1 by root of LC, that is same for series and parallel, and for parallel RLC circuit alpha is 1 by 2 RC. So then you have to compare the result of alpha and omega 0. If alpha greater than omega 0, that is over damped case, alpha equal to omega 0. Critically damped, alpha less than omega 0, then that is under damped case. And all the response formula that you have to remember. Then find out dv0 dt or di0 dt. You get two expression, you have to get two equations to solve for the two constant value. Okay, so this is how we have to solve it. Okay, so this is the RLC second order circuit. This is DC transient response. That means when we apply DC source across RLC, but here this is source free. The source charge in L and C, that is dissipating in resistance. Okay, if there is no resistance, what will happen? Then it will be oscillatory. Energy from L goes to C, from C goes to L, so it becomes undamped oscillation. Undamped oscillation. Okay, so just remember this point. R is due to the R is the damping factor. Okay, that is why for RLC circuit it either critically damped or over damped or under damped. Okay, but when there is no R, only RC circuit, it becomes undamped. Anyway, this is it for today. Next lecture I will discuss about DC transient analysis second order circuit with source. Okay, that means when we have source, what will happen? Anyway, thank you so much.